back to another episode of KJ's Ultimate Iron Man Adventures. In our last episode we did the sheep shearer quest and cook's assistant, and we also started building on our woodcutting and fire making skills. We found a black bead and we started a little bit of combat training. In his quest to defeat Elvarg, Ferrosoraptor requires several items that he can get from the wilderness. So, in the wilderness you can acquire a magical earth staff, steel top and bottoms, and one thing that I realised when I was on my way over there is that you could also get a steel dagger, which will be our best melee weapon until we get a bit of money together. However, as you might have noticed, I've been collecting runes from the rune trainer in Lumbridge, and I do not wish to risk the runes and have therefore decided to death pile them whilst we venture into the wilderness. That's the steel dagger acquired. The steel plate legs are acquired. And that's the earth staff. And that's the plate body. Now I've just got to get it out of here. Come on, come on, come on. Am I going to make it out? Oh, so close. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go back and collect all those things then. Luckily, they are still there when I get back. I've got to be careful here. I've only got 2 food left from what I gathered at the chickens. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, come on. Got 1 chicken left. Oh. Now, luckily, I didn't meet anyone on the way out of the wilderness from here, so I managed to get these back safely. And that is 2 magic. Ooh, a bronze square shield. That is an upgrade. And a bob event. That'll be very useful for my fishing XP. Thank you, Bob. That's taken me to 7 fishing. I can now catch guppies when I get to Candozel. So at this point I went to kill chickens, taking my attack, strength and defense up to level 6. I got a few prayer levels and a few cooking levels. I also got up to level 12 in magic. So next I travelled to the town of Draynor, where I met a man called Morgan who was being terrorized by a vampire. I stole his garlic and then killed his wife for good measure. To be fair, I was hoping she'd drop some money so that I could buy a hammer. There's the hammer. I proceeded to Farrell to meet a chap called Dr. Harlow. Inside the Blue Moon Inn, I headed upstairs, only to find that I'd walked past him earlier without noticing him. There he is. Dr. Harlow hands me a stake and tells me how to kill a vampire. Fully enough, throughout the entirety of Draynor, there are thousands of vampires to the east, and not one of them do you ever kill again with a stake. After stocking up on food, I proceeded to Draynor Manor to kill Count Draynor. And that quest gave me enough attack XP to wield mithril armor, as well as giving my combat level a decent boost. As I was in Draynor, I decided to help Ernest, who got himself into a pickle, turning himself into a chicken. In case anyone is curious about the choice of music, that was Hall of the Mountain King, which is the theme tune to Drayton Manor Theme Park in Staffordshire, UK. A reference which Draynor Manor is likely to have come from according to the wiki. So I went upstairs and the crazy professor dude tells me that he'd accidentally turned Ernest into a chicken. However, his machine has broke and some gremlins have stolen some parts of his machine. We need to retrieve them in order to be able to turn Ernest back into a human. I collected some fish food and some poison and then proceeded to head out of the building. Ooh, an upgrade, a bronze helmet. So, knowing that I would need a spade for this quest, I headed out from Draynor on my way to find a spade. And I knew of one spade that was in Ferrosoraptor, so that's where I was heading. But little did I know, I had just walked past the spawn point. Did you see it? Yeah, it appeared just as I'd left the building. Typical. So after walking all the way to Ferrosoraptor to get my spade, I dug out the key for the skeleton room. A quick dash later and the hose was mine. I then proceeded downstairs where I navigated a maze in order to retrieve the oil can. With the oil can, the hose pipe and the pressure gauge in hand from the pond, I then went to hand everything back to the professor, who turned Ernest back into a human. Quest complete, some gold and some quest points. So having taken on Count Draynor with nothing but chickens, I decided I needed a better food source. So I proceeded to the south of London to train my fishing and cooking skills. I wanted to get to the point where I could do fly fishing. Next stop, trout. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like, subscribe and to share. It really does help, and I'll see you next time.